variety of music in America has created many creative artists and many genres throughout the years. However, many people who seem to go unnoticed are the producers. In today's video, we are going to begin to go inside the mind of underground's most creative, versatile producer, StoneBabysounds, who has an insane catalog of songs with artists such as Jelly Roll, Ryan Upchurch, Demon Jones, Lil White, Dizzy Wright, Chris Calico, Mercules, Recognize, Leroy Biggs, Chucky Velvet, Twista, and including recently recreating Ryan Upchurch's biggest hip-hop anthem of all time, YZ, with Boozy Badass. How Stoney all got his start all started with Jelly Roll, who at the time was looking for a producer and an engineer, and Stoney was introduced to Jelly through his friend, Trey Cyrus.
What's up, yo? Up at Willpower, Super Hot Beats, Kiki, Jelly Roll.
During that session, he had played some sample tracks for Jelly such as The Thrill Is Gone and A Bad Man's World. Stoney would go on to create his very first project with Jelly, Therapeutic 4 and The Big South Story. As for the next project, Stoney and Jelly Roll had decided to release a mixtape that was titled Whiskey, Weed, and Waffle House, and would become one of the most legendary moments in Stoney and Jelly Roll's career, by triggering the company itself and receiving a cease and desist letter. Jelly Roll had even lost access to YouTube and social media after Waffle House had filed a trademark claim and was kicked offline for more than a week. As the news of Jelly being sued had spread around like wildfire, the Waffle House lawsuit had made its way to the Jimmy Fallon show.
8, 5, 3. And finally, that's how I actually dance. It's so sad. Finally, Waffle House is threatening to take legal action against a rapper after he used their logo on his album Whiskey, Weed, and Waffle House. Although, in fairness, that is the correct order. We have a great show tonight. Give it up for the Roots, everybody.
Jelly Roll had to erase the entire album and start all over again from scratch, and would begin releasing his next solo project, Sobriety Sucks. Sobriety Sucks was such a huge success that it had landed itself on the number 12 spot of the R&B Billboard chart.
So to describe this new album, or mixtape, whatever you want to call it, there's nothing like it. Truly, we've never cut records like this. It's refreshing, it's edgy.
Fucking for real. Mama said, I got a problem.
Stoney would then go on to releasing Therapeutic Music 5 and Addiction Kills. Soon after that, Stoney began working with other artists such as Ryan Upchurch, and the story behind that all started when Stoney had a media company that he was trying to focus on while doing music. And Stoney had a studio that was set up like a cabin and was in need of selling it because it was owned by his company and they were trying to liquidate it. Stoney put up a Craigslist ad and got a response from a buyer who was long and behold, Ryan Upchurch.
And then so he bought the studio, and then when he walked in, he looked around and he saw, like, you know, I had signatures on the wall and stuff, like all these people, you know, different artists signed the wall and stuff. And he realized, like, oh, dude, like he made the connection of who I was and stuff, and he was like, oh man, I loved your tracks and stuff. I remember he told me like he loved the cinematic feel to my music and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool, you know. And he's like, hey, we should work sometime. I'm about to put out an album, but I'm not super happy with it. I'm gonna give it to you and tell you, or you tell me what you think. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't really know too much about him. So when I listened to it, I gave him like my straight up opinion, you know. And there was a lot of songs on the CD. I remember he gave me, it was like 20 something songs, and I was like, look, man, like half of these are amazing. Yeah. And the other half feel like they need some work. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he was like, yeah. He's like, you know, let's work. You know. So he brought all the songs, all the sessions, and everything, and we kind of picked which ones worked well and which ones needed work.
Ryan and Stoney would turn those songs into The King of Dixie, which would become the very first album he had ever released with Ryan. And Stoney recalls his favorite song off of the album, Living in a Country Song, that sadly did not get a music video, but had gotten millions and millions of streams. However, Since then, Stoney has released every single album Ryan has put out to date and has obtained multiple #1 charting albums and hundreds of millions of views and streams. Now, one thing about being a producer is the process of creating a successful artist. And from Stoney working with Jelly and Upchurch, it has allowed him to have an established catalog that has given him the respect as a producer and opportunities with other talents he chooses to believe in and help develop into future artists, including Chucky Velvet, Leroy Biggs, and Gamby, who were all recently on Stoney's very first album, Bridges, with a variety of artists, such as Jarrett Benton, Chris Calico, Jelly Roll, Upchurch, Mercules, Demon Jones, Adam Calhoun, Dizzy Wright, Twista, and more. This album was very special to Stoney because it was the start in the beginning process of developing Gamby, who is fairly new to music, but is someone who Stoney believes in, and had even given him a huge opportunity with being a part of the chorus on Skyfall with Jelly Roll and Chris Calico. Stoney has since then released Gamby's first EP, and believes it to be one of his most proud mixes and production he has done yet.
I just want some time to paint, live in space, make some friends, go to Spain, buy a plane, change my name, hide my face when I'm out of place. I'm living life on my terms.
Stoney definitely has a good eye on spotting out talent and giving the guidance and direction of how to become a star, especially with somebody like Leroy Biggs, who didn't even know how to make a hook about 3 to 4 years ago, and is now making albums that are just like production level.
Stoner taught me how to record.
Yeah. Well, because like at first he would just rap all the way through the tracks.
Yeah.
Remember? Mm-hmm. Just kind of straight through.
I remember. Yeah. I didn't know how to do hooks because a lot of you motherfucking rappers, you know, y'all write everything. Daddy came in there prepared with noggin.
Okay. And
right.
Yeah, you're right. And mostly it was like, even the raps though were like more of like battle raps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't really like song raps.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Not really structured. It was just bars, basically.
Yeah, just bars, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, and we just kind of like, you know, start from scratch. Be like, okay, this is where you got to break things up. This is where you got to think of a hook, write a hook. And at first, I think the first couple of hooks were kind of rappy, and then he started, you know, experimenting with doing some melodic things and making it more of a song.
And from that experience developing Leroy and Stoney would create album number 1.
You heard of Leroy, the D-boy, I'm straight off that creek. Yep.
And include Leroy on his album Bridges with Lil White and Jelly Roll, which was a huge opportunity for Leroy.
Him letting me be a part of that, which, thank you. I mean, fuck, dude, half of this solo project I have coming up is him, and the reason we got back in the saddle was he saw how dope your boy dropped it. I mean, it was like 5 minutes. I was like, fuck a beat. Stone, just turn off the hit. Let me, you know, spit some shit, and it fit perfect.
And now after being a part of Stoney's album, Stoney would produce Leroy's newest album, Creek Thing, with Dub 3030, which is one of the best of all time albums that Leroy has put out.
Batter up, tell the fans to back it up. If the police try to stop it, then a riot will erupt.
Now currently, StoneBabysounds is working on the Pioneer album with Ryan Upchurch, and they actually teased on what they've been working on so far.
Cotton candy, clouds in my view. In my own world when I'm in my room. Every picture painted as a portal of a tomb. X my eyes, see the fires all blow. Whole world stuck to the gloom. Television saying that we're gonna die soon. Every leader on edge with a bunch in the rain is me.
Hearing gunshots in my head every time I got an idea. Turn my visions into real time life. Fuck a house, I'ma need a gallery. Yeah, I know my face new. I'm a walking breakthrough. I am from a rare few. We do not compare food. Yeah, I know my face new. It's one you should get used to. Pull up on the strip so deep we need like 50 canoes. Yeah, I know my face new.
Stonebabysounds is going to go down as one of the most legendary producers to ever live, mark my words. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you comment down below and let me know what your favorite part of the video was. And as always, it's been your boy dylantalkz. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.